Welcome to Reality Tea Times 2, the podcast where we discuss all the trash reality TV we love to hate. I am Tanika, and today we're going to be talking about The Bachelor. So, before we do, I still haven't quite gotten final results for the polls that I've been doing on The Bachelor, which we have who do you think is going to be the next Bachelorette, and who do you think is going to win Joey's heart at the end. I believe the poll is still good until Monday, maybe today, as you get this. So if you haven't voted, go over there onto Twitter, vote, and I will probably, as long as we don't get too spoiled. I think we're just doing the tell-all at this point anyways for Monday night. The women tell-all Monday night. And I will announce then what the final results are. But let's say I am pretty surprised on who everyone thinks is actually going to win Joey's heart at the end. I'm actually surprised by that. I'm not surprised by who people think is going to be the Bachelorette, but I'll leave it at that. I don't have much goss to talk about, but we're going to have a little crossover with The Bachelor. If you are a 911 fan, 911 is actually was filming at the Bachelor Mansion. There is going to be an episode involving the Bachelor Mansion coming up soon. So that's exciting. And because there was activity at the Bachelor Mansion with ambulance and whatnot, but not to worry, everyone is okay. It's just them filming. So that's going to be really fun. So if you are a 911 fan, or if you're not even a 911 fan and you are a Bachelor fan, you want to see that, definitely look out for it. I really enjoyed 911, so I'll be watching. So yeah, that's what's going on. But besides that, let's hop into the reason that we are here. The Bachelor season 28, episode 9, Fantasy Suites. So we are in Tulum, Mexico. He feels like he could be falling in love with each of them, but he does feel a little off at the moment. He's ready, but he wants someone to, kind of pick him, and he doesn't want to be hurt again. For this reason, he is holding back and he wants to let go, but he is just kind of nervous and maybe a little afraid to feel, to do this. I personally feel like Joey could have used some therapy. Honestly, I feel like we've never had a bachelor be, or even a bachelorette, honestly, maybe a bachelorette, but a bachelor be so fearful of falling in love, or not so much falling in love, but being in love, having someone pick them as much as they pick that person. I've never seen that to this extent. And I do worry for him, if someone doesn't pick him at the end, and how that's going to send him. So let's see how we do with that. But anyway, Rachel's fantasy suite night is first. They're going to be meeting up with 3 golden bachelorettes. So Rachel is meeting my favorite bachelorette ever, Susan. I love Susan so much. Okay, so Susan's here, and she's going to be here to help, make her feel comfortable. That's what Jesse wants her to do. And Rachel says, her exes were assholes and they cheated on her. She's been in 2 kind of major relationships and they both ended in cheating. She felt also with one of them that she couldn't be goofy and awkward with them because they would actually comment and why are you being like that? Why not? She can't be fun. She can't be goofy. Fuck you. Anyways. Susan tells her it's okay to be you, to be in love. It's a great feeling. And, it's just like, it's just hard because, both of her relationships ending in cheating, she has a wall up, it's just difficult for her. And Susan tells her, that's your fear. And she tells her, this show showed her she is the prize and she is what a man wants. That's what Susan says. And I love that. And she says, you have to love you before he can. And again, that is very true. But she hopes that she can put her guard down. That's what Susan hopes for Rachel, and just be vulnerable. So now it's her date, and Joey asks her, how do you feel about animals? How are you about holding your breath for a long time? Well, let's go see what they're going to go do. What they're going to be doing is jumping off of platforms into like this underwater cave type situation. I feel like we've seen this in a previous season. But anyways, that's what they're going to be doing. And Joey says that they're going to be going off of every platform. And then they go to the top platform. And there's a sign that says, love is the biggest leap of faith. True. Then they jump. And when they resurface, Rachel is not doing very good. She barely hit her face on the way down. Ugh. And you can tell, like, how she's talking has changed. She keeps saying, though, she's fine. And Joey's like, no, you're not fine. And then the doctor kind of comes and she couldn't talk, y'all. Like, it was not great. Like, she couldn't talk. But she's insisting she's fine. And I said, like they said, doctors and nurses are the worst patients. But eventually Joy is able to tell her, listen, we're going to the hospital. This isn't normal because she's in pain. And they just want to make sure that everything is okay. So they go to the hospital. They do an x-ray on her. And Joy is with her every step of the way. And her results come back and everything is normal. So now we're at the night portion of the day. She is gonna open up and know about everything. Her jawbone doesn't hurt as much anymore. She's able to open her mouth and move it around. It's great. She tells him though that she feels bad for ruining the date. Man, I'm sorry, but if she feels that way, what kind of fucking assholes has she been with? Like, you're not ruining the date. This was a freak accident. And Joey says, you feel bad for something that was completely out of your control. You did nothing wrong. It was a freak accident. That's exactly what he says. So she says like she wants to open up, but she does worry if, she took too long to do so. He says that he gets it, but also knows it's just her. It's that slow burn. And she tells him it still worries her because her other relationships ended with her ex's cheating. And, she has that fear. And he tells her this helps understand where she is at and also how she is feeling, maybe why the slow burn is a thing. And she gets very emotional and she cries into him. And he understands how difficult this week is. This process is tough, but he feels like this is real. And he felt that, in Spain and at her hometown, he felt like this relationship was real from those moments. But we got the card, and the card reads, Joey and Rachel, you went through so much today, but I know it's only brought you closer together. As a couple, should you choose to stay, I can't read the whole card here, for your individual rooms, please use this key to stay as a couple in the fantasy suite, Jesse. So, of course, they are going to stay in the fantasy suite together. I mean, I haven't seen anyone say no to the fantasy suite in a long time. It's definitely happened, but it's been a long time. So yeah, the next morning, all things have gone really well. They, she said that she opened up quite a bit to him, saw different sides of her. It was great. Um, and she shared a lot with him, so it's really good. But let's move on to the next date. We have Kelsey. So we hear a knock, knock, knock at our door, and the Golden Bachelor, that's the full contestant who's here to see her, is Leslie. Leslie tells her, I know we're in the same club. Leslie, which I'm not sure if we knew this before, lost her mom at 24. Y'all, if you remember, Leslie lost her dad at 16 to suicide. And then not even 6 years later, her mom dies. Or not 5, 6, more like 8 years later. Math, guys. Her mom then dies. Oh man, I feel horrible for Leslie. It's both parents by the age of 24 when you need your parents the most. Jeez. Kelsey tells her about, seeing butterflies. They're in the hometown, what butterflies means to her. And Leslie tells her, your mom would be so proud of you. And then Leslie tells her, I went to my fantasy suite date feeling very confident. I came out of it feeling very confident. And obviously I didn't get the guy at the end. And she wishes that she didn't feel so confident because it was heartbreaking. She says she loved him, and she did. She tells her, maybe, you can have something kind of in the back of your mind where you're conscious, but you're also hopeful. Kind of think like you might not be picked at the end of this. So that if when you're not picked, it's not going to be as hard of a blow. Kelsey is now freaking out and she's not feeling so good. Now, I understand what Leslie is saying here. I totally get it. And I don't fault her in that because her heartbreak was so raw when Gary broke it off. But for her to tell Kelsey this, I have a problem with. Because now you've planted this seed of doubt in Kelsey that wasn't there before. And in turn, if Kelsey, does decide to walk away to preserve herself, that is going to also then hurt Joey as well, because Joey is very sensitive. And I mean, unfortunately, this is the name of the game. The Bachelor or the Bachelorette has control of this process to some extent. So this is not going to go good. I feel like Leslie was the wrong person to bring on this situation. I really do. I really do. I also think it might have been too soon because I mean, from this, it may have only been mere months. Like, while this was being filmed, we were watching the season of Golden Bachelor. So this could have only been a matter of a month or two, maybe 3 tops. Probably more like 2. Oh, God. Not good. Not good at all. So now it's daytime. he asked her, what do you think we're going to be doing for this day? And she says, I don't know, maybe something with boats. Well, yes, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. They're on the boat. Her hair is whipping in the wind. And he's like, I love your crazy hair. Don't tame the mane. And he says, it's just the small things with her that kind of helps him see the future with her. Then we saw the boat and we see a stingray and we see a turtle, and they're going to be swimming with Mr. Ray and Crush. That's exactly what they're going to be doing. And if you don't understand the reference, I don't know what to tell you. So now it's the night portion, and Kelsey tells Joey she actually talked to Leslie and tells him how, she said, she kind of tells him the easy version, the not so gut punching version of what Leslie told her. Kind of to be hopeful, but also be prepared for, if Joey doesn't pick her. And he says that, he gets it. He understands. He's been in this process. He gets it. He was one of the final two. He totally understands it. He just doesn't want to be picking someone who doesn't pick him, because that's one of his things. She tells him that she does love him. And, talking to her dad kind of helped her kind of open up about her feelings towards him. And he feels amazing. He wants to be able to express his love to her. Obviously that scares him because of his past, but he does tell her that he is falling in love with her. And she is happy. And she's so happy she can get the smile off her face. And he feels happy that she is happy. And, it's great. Then the card is given to Kelsey. And the card reads like this: Joey and Kelsey, may your days spent on I think it's the seas or whatever, the Caribbean Sea, have enriched a lasting memory of unity and happiness in your hearts, inspiring you to enjoy an evening filled with laughter and meaningful conversations and deep connection. Should you choose to forego your individual rooms, please use this key to stay together in the fantasy suite. Jessie. And obviously, she accepts. So they, get into the room, they do this pool and all of that. So now it's the next morning. They're cooking breakfast together, bacon and eggs, and he cracks this egg so horribly. And he was having fun. They seem so normal together. And that's all you can really ask for, is just to have a normal relationship, making bacon and eggs together and toast. And yeah, but he did say he was going to eat the egg with all the shells in it, because and he tells her that he is leaving very confident about them. So I guess we'll see how things go, but we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to jump in with Daisy. Have you ever thought of starting your very own podcast? Doing the research, I found something that would have made editing easy and seamless and makes the podcasting experience just that much easier. And I am talking about Ludo. This is a podcast software that I use for our editing of our episodes. It is amazing. It is easy. You're also able to get help from doing chats and getting the information that maybe you just need a little more help with. They also have access to different articles that can also help you that have been just godsends for me. Also with Oludu, you can create clips, you can do your ads, that's like this very one I'm doing right now, and you can create your trailer very seamlessly just by the clicks of buttons. You can also use Oludu to publish your episodes just straight from the software. It's so easy. I highly recommend it. You can get access to Oludu by using our unique link, which you can find on our show notes, just down there at the bottom at the show notes. And you can get access to an easy software. And we are back. So let's jump in with Daisy. And for her, here comes Sandra. And she tells her that Joey has made her feel better about herself. Obviously, with her cochlear implant, she has mentioned many times that she worries that people wouldn't want her because of it. I mean, I'm sorry, a man would have to be a complete dick to not want somebody because of a cochlear implant. Like, fuck that guy. Come on. Anyways, Sandra tells her, be confident. Don't worry about the other women. Open up. Give it a little oomph, Even make it sexual if you need to. Tell him you can't wait to make babies with him. Men really like that. It's true, honestly. She's not wrong. She kind of says, like, intimacy for men is very different than it is for women. Men kind of like that, kind of aggression. Like, let's do this. Like, I can't wait. Seriously, But, and she says, just, take this advice from an older lady. No, wait, a golden lady. So, yeah, it was great. Perfect advice. That's how you do it, Leslie. What the fuck? Anyways. But again, Leslie was the wrong person. I'm sorry. Even just not with Gary, but like her past relationships have ended horribly. Wrong person. Like, don't have me coming out there giving people advice about opening up and being in love and all this shit because I've been tainted. I mean, yes, I'm in love now and I'm with someone who I love, but I've gone through hell and back to get to this point. You know what I mean? Like, anyway. So now it's daytime. And he asks, as he's been asking everybody, what do you think you're going to be doing? And he's like, I don't know, something in the water. And he's like, okay, let's go look. This time she got it completely wrong because she said, it's like they're going to be going ATVing. But before they do go, he says, wait, she's like, wait, I got one more thing that I want to do. And she kisses him. And okay, girl, she's taking Sandra's advice. And after she kisses him, she's like, okay, I'm good. And he is planning to tell her a little bit more about how he's feeling instead of word vomiting. I feel the same. So that's what he's going to do. And Daisy says, him being on ATV and the adrenaline and all that, she's feeling things. Is that so? She says, let's get dirty. Easy. She's definitely taking Sandra's advice. Oh man. And after she says, let's get dirty, he drives into a mud puddle. So, meanwhile, we're going to get a little dips in and out of the date to Kelsey. And Kelsey is definitely having some seeds of doubt coming in at the moment, thanks to Leslie. So let's go back to the date. He says, he can picture a future with her. But he says, you know what? There's not much else really there. We'll talk more about it in the night portion. But he says, listen, we're dirty, we're sweaty. Let's go get cleaned up. And they go into the shower and they're getting cleaned up or making out or, anyway. So now we're at the night portion, and she tells him that her last relationship was great in some ways, but he also wasn't emotionally available to her. And she would feel kind of shut down by him. So she's trying her best to open up, as maybe why she's hesitant on opening up with him because of that last relationship. Joey says one of his relationships in Hawaii made him question whether or not he was a good person because he never seemed to kind of do enough for her or be enough for her. He didn't feel chosen also by this person. So there we go. He worries that people will fall in love with the idea of him and not exactly who he is at his core, which is something he said to Charity at his, I believe it was Fantasy Suite as well. He said the same thing to Charity as well. I remember him telling her that. Um, she gets emotional because she can relate. Obviously, they have a lot of similarities into how they feel and how they are kind of navigating this process. Um, and, she's getting emotional because, it is true heartbreak. And, both are kind of feeling the same things when it comes to their fears. He tells her that I am falling in love with you. So he has told that he is falling in love to both Kelsey and Daisy, but not Rachel. And he said it's been building for some time. Then we get that card. And the card reads, Joey and Daisy, I hope your adventure in Tulum's lush jungle has brought you even closer together. May the passion and excitement of today lay the foundation for a night of profound connection and life-changing romance. Should you choose to forego your individual rooms, please use this key to stay as a couple in the fantasy suite. Jesse. So obviously, yes, they're going to do the fantasy suite. And yeah, they're in the room and let's do this thing, right? It's the next morning. Things seem to have gone really well with them, and it's basically it. Meanwhile, with Kelsey, she can't be certain that he's going to pick her. And she can't get what Leslie said to her out of her head. Jesus Christ, Leslie. Does everyone else have to? Misery loves company. Let me tell you. Joey, after his date with Daisy, kind of says, I have zero doubts that these women are here for him, that they're choosing him, and he feels that he can let his fears now go away. Then Kelsey goes by Joey's room, and I'm going to tell you the times here because they're important. At 2:10 p.m., I put 4:10 p.m., but 4:10 p.m. to talk to him, but he wasn't there. Then the notes where she says, we need to talk. She takes that back to his room, tries knocking again, but again, he's still not there. And this was at 4:01 p.m. She says that she would rather leave now than have her heart broken later. Jesus. So at 8:44 p.m. is when he comes back and he finds the note and he's not freaking out. He's like, maybe it's good. And maybe, did I say something? Did something said to her? I know it wasn't me. I didn't say anything to her. Like, he's her freaking out, but he says the fact that someone says we need to talk usually means that something is wrong. And he says he does not want her to leave. He wants her to be here. And he says, I'm done. He's over it. And he walks away. But guess what, guys? We're going to have to wait 2 weeks to find out exactly what is going to happen with Kelsey. So next week, or tomorrow, or today, as you get this, we got the women tell all. And then in 2 weeks, we will find everything out. So I'm very excited about the tell all. Again, I will have the results of the poll for you on the next episode, because it finishes tomorrow. So I'll have that for you tomorrow on the next episode, and we can, I'm excited. I had a lot of votes for this poll. Didn't get a lot of votes for the Bachelor polls. So, but yeah, we will, and I do have the results for the Love is Blind poll that I had out there that I will put in the Love is Blind episode. But yeah, that is it, guys, until the next episode. But that is it for The Bachelor for this week. So if you like what you heard, please rate, review the podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Also, don't forget that you can also share us with everyone in your life if you really love this. And I do want to read those reviews. I'm definitely getting 5-star ratings, but I want to read those reviews. So send me those reviews and I will read those 4 and 5-star reviews on the podcast. Also, we're on every one of your favorite podcast apps. Every one of them, including you can find us on YouTube at Reality Tea Times 2. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going to either Facebook or Instagram at Reality Tea Times 2. You can also find us on Twitter, TikTok, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 pod. We also have our email, which is at realityteatimes2 at hotmail.com. Definitely want to hear from you guys. And we also have our new website where you can listen to all of these episodes. You can review the podcast on there as well. You can connect with me in any way, all the stuff. It's all there, and you can find me there at www.realityteatimes2, all spelled out, .podpage.io. It's there. And don't forget, I also have my other podcast with my friend Mikkel, Next Take Podcast, where we talk about all kinds of different topics. But you can find us on any of your favorite podcast apps over there as well. Or you can also go to YouTube, and you go to Next Take Podcast, as well as our website, which is solo.to/Next Take Podcast. So yeah, there's that, and that's basically that. And again, don't forget, if all of this information is overwhelming, we do have all of the links, everything in our show notes. But that is it for now, guys. Thanks. Bye.